people have tested positive for COVID-19 coronavirus in Ohio. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine just announced that a short time ago. Adrienne Robbins actually was watching the live stream, and she joins me right now with more about what the governor was saying while I was setting all of this up. Adrienne, tell us a little bit more about what we know about these three patients. They are not in Central Ohio. They are in the Cleveland area, correct?
That's right. Cuyahoga County, all three cases are in that area. It sounds like they have officially now notified all three of those patients. We were kind of waiting to hear more about how these cases ultimately came to Ohio. What the governor said is that two of the people were recently on a cruise. One person was recently at a conference, an APAC conference in Washington, D.C. So right now they are working on notifying not only all the people that they could have been in contact with, but making sure they know where they've been, when they were there, and what they ultimately touched.
Dr. Amy Acton, the director of the Ohio Department of Health, was also there. She's been kind of with the governor step by step throughout this process. What did Dr. Acton have to say?
You know, she said this is something that we've been preparing for. She is now officially calling it a pandemic. She said that she believes it's a pandemic. She said in the next few days, Ohioans are going to have to make some changes to their everyday lives. Things could get uncomfortable for a little while, but she said ultimately it's all to keep us safe here.
That's good. So we had the preparedness workshop. I think it was on Thursday, I believe.
Right.
We were both there. You really covered the nuts and bolts of what they are doing to be prepared. So this is in place. And did Dr. Acton reference that at all? And kind of remind us what they told us all on Thursday.
Right, so ultimately this isn't coming as a huge shock. Like I said, Dr. Acton said a lot of doctors were saying we've probably already had some cases. Maybe they just didn't necessarily go in for testing like we thought that they would. But so this isn't a big surprise. We knew our first case in Ohio was going to be coming sooner rather than later, and it's officially here. So during that summit, we talked about the plan Ohio had in place. And so far, they've followed that plan. They said there would be a news conference. They want this to be completely an open process for Ohioans so that they know exactly what's going on. So they've had that. Like I said earlier on, she said that they would be investigating the health department, exactly where these people have been, exactly who they've all been in contact with. And now those people are probably currently getting notified as we speak that they have been in contact with somebody who has the coronavirus. After that, now Ohio is in a state of emergency. Governor Mike DeWine said that state travel will be limited. He said no one's going to conferences from the state at this point. And he said that if it's not absolutely necessary, we won't be doing it.
So we had the Arnold that really scaled back this weekend. Right. March Madness is coming up. We have an international car show coming up in Ohio as well. So those are definitely things that we are going to be keeping an eye on. So just for you guys' information, I'm going to keep Adrienne with me for a few more minutes to ask her more questions, but I kind of wanted to break in and recap exactly what we're talking about here. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Dr. Amy Acton, director of the Ohio Department of Health, just held a press conference moments ago confirming that there are 3 confirmed cases of COVID-19 coronavirus in the state of Ohio. All 3 people are in the Cuyahoga County area. 2 of those people had recently been on a cruise. Another one had just gone to a conference in Washington, D.C. So those are the 3 cases that we know about right now. Of course, this is a fluid situation. Everybody's going to keep monitoring everything. But COVID-19, our first, second, and third confirmed case in Ohio announced just probably about a half hour ago by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Dr. Amy Acton from the Ohio Department of Health. Things that we need to keep reminding people of to prevent the spread of all viruses, really, but this is just advice that the doctors have told us over and over again here. Let me show you. Okay, so here's NBC4i.com right now. This is NBC4i.com/coronavirus. Things that people need to do to avoid spreading viruses. Wash your hands often and thoroughly with soap and water. Avoid touching your face, your mouth, your nose, your eyes with your unwashed hands or with your hands in general. If you don't have soap and water, of course, hand sanitizer and alcohol-based hand sanitizer can also help, but soap and water often. Also, stay at home when you're sick, and then practice good etiquette. If you do have to sneeze or cough in public, do it into the crook of your arm or cover your mouth with your shirt or anything like that. But again, staying home with your sick. Right now, anybody with questions on the coronavirus COVID-19 has been asked to call the Ohio Department of Health coronavirus hotline. That number is 1-833-4 ASKODH. That number is on NBC4i.com/coronavirus. Again, let's go back and chat with Adrian, because Adrian, let's recap with the people. You were listening to the press conference that was held just a few minutes ago. Again, what is the governor saying? What is Dr. Amy Acton saying about these confirmed cases of coronavirus COVID-19 that are now here in Ohio?
Well, a lot of their message is basically staying the same, and it's been the same since even before our first couple cases have been identified. They said we need to be cautious. We don't need to panic, but we need to be careful here. And ultimately, they did say Ohio now has their first 3 confirmed cases. All of them are in their 50s. 2 people have just gotten back from a cruise. 1 person just got back from a conference at APAC. And right now, the health department is investigating where those people have been, who they've been in contact with, and obviously now those people are being notified as well. And like I said earlier, Governor DeWine said life for Ohioans is going to get more difficult in the next coming days. A lot of normal things that you may do, you may not be able to do in the next couple of days. Even you talk about being prepared and washing our hands, doing things like this. Well, now that we have cases here, Dr. Acton said ultimately a lot of people won't be able to go visit family if they're in a nursing home. We need to protect those populations, and those protections will go up immediately. Obviously, the state of Ohio is in a state of emergency now. Governor DeWine is limiting state travel, so things will be changing in the next couple of days to try to keep Ohio safe. Dr. Acton brought up in Italy just a couple of weeks ago, they had just a small amount of cases and it quickly spread. She said that's what we need to look at, of why we need to be so careful now that cases are actually confirmed in Ohio.
And again, Ohio is prepared according to the Ohio Department of Health director, as well as the governor. We had that workshop on Thursday, as well as several other preparedness things that they said have been in place for 15 some years. So they're telling people not to worry, but be proactive and make sure you are taking care of those things and not doing things that put you at unnecessary risk. All right, Adrian, I know you have a story you're working on today. It's actually talking to kids about coronavirus COVID-19. So something really important. What time does that air?
That's going to be airing at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
We talked to Nationwide Children's Hospital about ways you can talk to your children, especially now that it's in Ohio, without scaring them and maybe relieving some of those anxieties that they may have.
All right, Adrian, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for watching. NBC4i.com/coronavirus is a great resource for you all. Go there. Make sure we have a list of stories. We've been covering this for weeks and weeks in preparation for this. So make sure you go there, NBC4i.com/coronavirus. All the information you need to know, as well as a hotline you can call in the state of Ohio for more information about if you have any questions or if you suspect that you are at risk for having the virus. We'll see you all later, and we'll have more information as on this developing story on NBC4 at 4, 5, 6, and 7, of course 11 o'clock as well. We'll see you then. Bye.